I cannot believe that January is already over. I feel like the month went by so fast, but of course we will have a reading wrap up for the month of January. This month I read a total of 15 books, so I am on track with my reading goal. I'm a little bit ahead. The first book that I read is The Breakup Pact. This book was super fun. I really just wanted to kick off the year with a summary read, especially in January. I feel like January is the longest month of the winter for me after the holidays, and things just kind of feel dark and gloomy, so this was definitely a bright read to have, and it was a really enjoyable and a really fun book. My next book is My Favorite Half Night Stand by Christina Lauren. I love her books. I feel like her books are always fluffy and fun. Really good read. I'm super happy that I got it. I do have this in a physical copy. It was one of my holiday gifts. The next book that I read is The Spice Cocoa Cafe, and I've been reading the series. There's another book coming up in the spring that I'm super excited. I started doing ARC reviews last year, and I read one of this, I think the first book, as an ARC when it first came out, so I was just super excited to read this book, and it was still kind of holiday-ish, but I included it in as like a final holiday read for my year. The next book is, I've been dying to read this book, and oh my gosh, it totally lived up to the standard. The Wedding People. I've had this book sitting on my shelf for maybe like a year at this point, or almost a year, and I just haven't had the time to like sit down and read it. It was super popular and I got it, and then other books came and I felt like I just kept pushing it off, but I knew it was going to be such an incredible read, and it definitely lived up to the hype. If you have not read this book, absolutely read it. And then of course, as my last video, I read the entire Gold Rush Ranch series, which is Off to the Races, A Photo Finish, Out of the Gate, The Front Runner, and A False Start. I really enjoyed this series. I definitely want to read more of her series. I did make a whole video about it as my last post, so definitely go and check that video out if you want to hear me talk more about the series. And then the next two books that I read is also part of the series. It's the Emily Wilde series, so I read the first and the second book. There's still one more that I have to read, and I have it sitting on my nightstand. Sweet story, really interesting. I'm not too much into like the romantic-y fantasy stuff, but this series has always caught my eye, and I actually reread these two books. I read them back in like 2024, and I just got the third book for Christmas, so I'm like rereading the series, and I really like the first two books. And the next book, my favorite book that I read this month. I love this book. There's the second book in the series is coming out this year, and I cannot wait. Cowboy Casual. Oh my goodness. It's on Kindle Unlimited. Everyone read it. It is like all the things that I want in a cowboy romance book in one, and there's also a strawberry farm, and strawberries are my favorite fruit, so it was just everything you needed and more. It's a fantastic read. Absolutely pick it up. The next book that I read is The Battle of the Bookshops. I am happy that I read this book, but I don't think I would necessarily recommend it. I love You Got Mail. It's my favorite movie, and whenever I see like any bookstore rivalry, I instantly think You Got Mail. If you all do really want a good You Got Mail, Battle of the Bookstores, amazing book. This book actually made me watch You Got Mail. If you're looking for a book like that, I would kind of skip this one. Go with The Battle of the Bookstores. A lot better. Last two books that I read, I'm getting started with the like Amazon Valentine's Day series that they have. So I've read two of them, Accidentally Yours and Time Will Tell. These are short stories. They're free on Kindle. They also have like audiobooks tied to them, so they're really sweet reads. Time Will Tell was actually incredible. I'm really excited to finish this series. I feel like with these little short collections that they do, it's either kind of a hit or miss. I feel like the holiday one they had this year really wasn't that big of a fan, but this one is really good. So I have high hopes for the other ones in the series, and I'll definitely read those next month. Thank you so much for joining me. Definitely let me know your favorite book that you read last month in January, and I hope you all have an amazing day. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.